Hi, I'm Laramie. I just did an easy summertime look on Jendai, and if you want to see how I did it, keep watching. The best thing that you can do for your makeup is to prep your skin. So I like to use the soothing priming milk first, the Drench It, and the way that I use it on set is I layer these products to create the perfect prep for the skin. For the Drench It, I'm gonna show you how I use this. When the model sits in my chair, the first thing I do is I cleanse her skin with a micellar water. And the second thing I do is I use the Drench It to give her a little mini face massage. I'm gonna show you that right now. This first step of using the priming milk is really essential. So what it's going to do is it's going to prep Jendai's skin so it can better absorb the serum, the moisturizer, and the primer. And when you layer all of these products together, it creates the perfect base for your makeup. When you put makeup onto bare skin, it's going to look dry, cakey, and just unnatural. But when you really prep the skin first, especially when you layer products, it's going to create this flawless, hydrated base that then the makeup's gonna look more like your skin, which is what we all want. Another step that I consider essential is letting the skin absorb every step of the way. This is my special tool. So I'm gonna have Jendai hold this on her face. You wanna let about 30 seconds to 1 minute go in between layering the products. If you layer too quickly, sometimes the product gets sticky, it doesn't sit right. You really wanna let your skin absorb so it can be as plump and hydrated as possible before the next step. So while we let that sit, I'm gonna use the Amp It, and this is a really great product for the lips to kind of hydrate and moisturize. Start with it, let it sit while you're doing your skin prep, and then later when we do the lip, we can take it off. So the Amp It is really easy to use. Basically, the applicator has a curve to it, so it fits the contours of your lip really easily. You're not working against it. It's kind of doing the job for you. The next step is the Drip It, which is POV's Nourishing Glow Serum. So I really love this product over the Soothing Priming Milk. The combo just makes the skin look glowy, hydrated, plump. You want your makeup to sit on a really hydrated base. So the way to do it is by layering skincare products. The first step is to use the Soothing Priming Milk, and then second, we want to use the Drip It. I'm using about 3 to 4 drops of this. I don't want to use too thick of a layer. You don't need much. You just need kind of like a thin layer to go on top of the Soothing Priming Milk to help prep the skin before you use the moisturizer. My favorite way of applying this is to kind of spread it between my palms and then press it into the skin. A lot of people wonder, how do they know what order to apply their skincare? And the best way to remember is you want to go from thinnest to thickest. So you start with some sort of milky toner, you want to start with the Soothing Priming Milk, and then you go to a serum, then a moisturizer, then a primer. I love this serum. It's super hydrating. It gives that glow to the skin. It sits really well on top of the Soothing Priming Milk, and it doesn't get too sticky where the makeup then sticks to it. It gives a really nice base and hydration to the skin. And I always bring every skincare product down the neck and onto the décolleté. This is an essential step. You can't skip that. If you want your skin to look glowy and hydrated, you also want your neck and your shoulders and your décolleté to look that way too, because then everything will be seamless. Otherwise, things will be different levels of hydrated and that will just kind of look off. Now we're gonna let this sit for about 30 seconds and go into our moisturizer. So while we let that sit, the Chill It is a plumping water moisturizer, and I love this product. It's super lightweight, it's hydrating, it doesn't sit too heavy. I'm only gonna use a dime size amount and kind of work it between my palms and press it into the skin. And you can see how hydrating and watery this moisturizer really is. It's basically like a drink of water for your skin. It's going to layer perfectly over the serum and the priming milk. You can see there's no pilling already. And the way that I work this into model skin is kind of just a smooth layer all over. You want to make sure to especially get any dry spots. And bringing it down to the neck and the décolleté. And you really want to press this into your skin. A lot of times people just throw their skincare on willy-nilly, but for me, I think you should really be treating your skin like silk. So you want to press it into the skin, really take that time every step of the way to treat yourself. It's your moment. So for the final step of the skin prep, I like to use the Glaze It, which is the tacky primer. The thing that I like about this product is it's not too tacky. You're not putting something super sticky on the skin that then won't adhere to the makeup later on. It basically acts as the perfect in-between between hydration and makeup. So for the Glaze It, I also like to use 1 to 2 pumps, work it between my palms and press it into the model skin. So you can see that layering these products is going to basically be the most essential step of creating any sort of look. For today, we're going to do a summertime look on Zendaya. It's gonna be something I call the glazed apple look. It's gonna be a gorgeous blush shine with a little bit of hydration on the lips, but you can't get that unless you prep the skin correctly. And the main way that you want to prep the skin correctly is through layering the steps, layering a priming milk, a serum, a moisturizer, and a primer. And basically you're just kind of prepping your canvas for the perfect makeup application. So for the perfect summer makeup, it's all about the skin prep. Once you really have the skin moisturized, hydrated, plump, smooth, then it's gonna be easy breezy makeup. So the first thing I do when I'm creating any look is I want to even out the skin tone, and you can use a lightweight foundation for that. I'm using a cream foundation that is about the same skin tone as Zendaya, and that is going to create the perfect evenness for the look. So if you've ever tried to apply foundation onto skin that you haven't moisturized, it becomes dry, patchy, the skin kind of pills, there's a skip to it. It basically just looks not good. But when the skin is correctly hydrated and prepped, the makeup glides on super smoothly, everything goes on evenly. And right now I'm just kind of creating an even layer of foundation all over the skin to give Zendaya a more even complexion. It's super easy to do because I've prepped the skin correctly. Next, we're gonna brighten up the under eye, and I'm gonna use a little bit of a brightening concealer 1 to 2 shades lighter than her skin. And this, we wanna go as minimal as possible because we're creating a very fresh summertime look. And this is something Zendaya can do when she just wants to pop on something quick, colorful, and easy before going out the door. The way that I like to use concealer is in very thin layers. And this is easy to do when the skin has been prepped correctly because there's no pilling. I'm also doing a little color correction around Zendaya's mouth, and this you want to use a warmer tone of makeup. The warmer tones give a little color correction and coverage at the same time. The other step a lot of people skip that is essential is blending every step of the way. You kind of want to blend in between every layer that you do. To me, this is the biggest difference between seeing a non-professional versus a professional makeup. So for the summertime glazed apple look, we really want a juicy cheek. The mid-face could use a little bit more blush, so I'm gonna start kind of on the apples of her cheek and bring it up to the temple. I want you to look in the mirror and see what needs balancing, and that tells you where to put your blush. So if you have a wide mid-face, you want a little bit more blush to cut through that. If you have a quite narrow face, you wanna go all around the outside to bring your attention there. And then for the summertime look, we want to put a little dusting across the nose and bring it up to her temples. We're going to use a little bit of a burnt orange right underneath her eye. It kind of brings a transition from the eye to the blush, and this is what really gives that editorial summertime look. So we've prepped the lip with the Ampit. Now I'm going to take it off and apply our lip combo. For Zendaya, I'm going to use Contour It in 90% Dark and Angel Cake. First, we're going to line her lips with 90% Dark. I like to bring the darker color a little bit into the corners to give it that kind of contour. And now I'm gonna use Angel Cake to fill in the center of her lips. One thing I love about the contour is you have about 10 to 15 seconds of working time before it dries down. So when it dries down, it really doesn't budge, which is what you want. It's also really creamy. So a lot of times long wear lip liners can be a little tough to work with, but with Contour It, it's super easy to work with. So the last step is I'm going to use the Amp It Toasted Marshmallow. I love, love, love this color. With the Amp It, I really love to apply the product. I love this clear applicator because you can see exactly how much you're putting out and dosing it. And then I like to flip it over and blend out the product. So the top is silicone, which means it's super soft and gentle on the model's skin, and we love that. And this is why I never skip skin prep. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Laramie. I'm a makeup artist with 15 years experience, and this is my summertime POV, the glazed apple look.